English translation, 432nd contact, Tuesday 15th of August 2006, E00.02 hours.
Oh, hello, Pla. My greetings and welcome. I really was not expecting to see you today. I did not expect you until this weekend.
That is related to the fact that I personally observed the war zone in Lebanon today in respect of the ceasefire and have still occupied myself with various interrelated things regarding this, which I could only finish a few minutes ago. It is unbelievably primitive, the destruction that was caused down there, especially through the Israelis, who have raged like the insane, who are no longer in command of their rationality and intellect. Not even the Nazis have operated in these contexts of unbelievably destructive rage. Consequently, only the USA can be taken as an example, who, in the same measure, let their destructive rages have free rein in the Second World War at Hiroshima, Nagasaki, and on diverse Japanese islands as well as in Germany, in Dresden and Schweinfurt and so forth. Now, in spite of the ceasefire, there are still always small skirmishes in which mainly Hezbollah fighters are killed. Naturally, the Hezbollah terror organization also performs its part in the bloody and destructive events, yet their atrocities stand in no comparison to those which the Israeli army caused. And what is more regrettable, neither the Hezbollah nor the Israeli army are disarmed. Consequently, the terror will also continue in the future. The question actually arises, how long the Earth humans will remain solely intelligent and simple-minded before they pursue rationality and intellect to the extent that they set the correct heads of state in the fitting positions and take the rudder in the hand themselves in order to create a multinational peacefighting force that, in this context, disarms all warring and terrorist parties in order to bring about true and final peace on the earth and among all peoples. Naturally, there are many things connected with this that also need to be considered further. But if earthly humanity were finally to become capable of true rationality and true intellect, then the whole thing would be feasible. However, as things are handled today with the UN and its ridiculous and useless deployment, there is truly nothing to be achieved in regard to an establishment of peace on the earth, respectively, for all peoples. Multinational peace troops in the sense of the UN correspond actually to an absurdity because, if the entire thing is effective and the longed-for goal of a worldwide peace is to be achieved, then that is only possible through a multinational troop fighting for peace, which acts in logical Gewalt, beyond all might and violence, with all available forceful means, physical, psychical, mental, and to use consciousness-based powers, abilities, and skills in order to carry out and practice tremendous deeds and actions, and undertakes everything necessary for the disarming of the armies. Principally, in every case, a multinational troop, fighting for peace, may only exist on a planet under the strictest control of the world population, whereby only this multinational army may have at its disposal fighting weapons for the entire security of the planet and its population. And what I want to say, there are two extraordinary events that I can tell you about as predictions. On the one hand, according to our first investigations, the enormous floods in North Korea will cost about 71,400 lives, which will of course be denied. Also in Ethiopia, where unusually large areas are affected by flooding due to torrential rains, our first investigations have revealed that some 2,500 human lives will be lost. Unfortunately, these are events that will occur more and more in the coming time and cause undreamt-of catastrophes, as will be the case with violent storms and wildfires as well as landslides. All in all, the whole thing is due to the rapidly progressing climate change. the origin of which is to be found in the unreasonable overpopulation by which the whole environment is affected and destroyed as a result of their machinations. But thank you for your welcome and your greeting, which I also offer you on my part. I see that you are working as usual at this time of day, but you are doing that every 7 days a week, just like us. You are always busy, and I am always bringing you new work. The last work of about 1,800 questions, which you answered for us in detail, I want to thank you again in the name of our spiritual leadership. It is tremendous what you have done with regard to the answers to these questions. Many things are completely new to us and give us enough material to occupy us for many decades, if not well over 100 or 200 years. The last 318 questions I brought to you 3 months ago, and which have been further developed from a first small part of your answers, are probably important for us, but you can really take your time in answering them.
At the moment, I have put them aside because I am working on a 4-part spiritual teaching special bulletin for December 2009. I am also working on a special bulletin for the month of August, number 26. The content is largely related to the war in Lebanon. Further, I still have before me a reply to a reader to add that I have received in English from Brazil. Helga translated the whole thing into German for me. Thereafter, Marianne and William corrected it and finished it off. It thereby deals with a matter in which it is asserted that there is only one extraterrestrial federation, present on Earth, named Star Nations, and you people with your Pleiaren Federation practically do not exist. Thereby, naturally, I am attacked, whereby it is asserted that I have been maltreated through consciousness-influencing machinations by a clique, and your messages are also not real.
That sounds very familiar to me. Do you speak of a certain Richard Boylan with his insane Star Kids project?
Precisely. Obviously you know his machinations? You have never told me anything about that.
This man, with his delusional imaginings and his crazy and insane machinations, is very well known to me because, through our 3-year clarifications, our attention has also been turned to him, along with many others who, in the same or similar wise, are damaged in their consciousness. Therefore, we know very precisely which nonsense he, in a delusional state, imagines and asserts in regard to alleged contact with extraterrestrials. That he has a connection with a counselor named Ashioma, and with the administration of the so-called Zeta in the form of the Star Nations, who are the only ones who maintain contact on the Earth. The man, who one cannot quite judge as fully sane, supports himself, with his shady wheeling and dealing, on your contacts with us. Consequently, he also rewrites the knowledge from the contact reports for himself and asserts that he receives the information from his alleged counselor Ashioma, who in truth only exists in his fantasy. But there are still many others on the Earth like him.
Aha! That is precisely what is touched upon in the email I have received. What is also interesting about that is, since I have disseminated to the world, via the internet, your cognitions, that there are no other extraterrestrials on Earth other than those who belong to your Federation. This guy now suddenly comes and asserts on the internet that there is only one extraterrestrial federation in regard to extraterrestrials on Earth, and indeed, the Star Nations.
That is not astonishing, because I have already explained that he uses our contact reports, that you publish, and that he rewrites them and asserts that his scribble is reports and explanations which he receives from the Zetas.
I understand already, but see here. I have that email in English and in German here. You can just read it and say to me whether I should integrate the whole thing that we have just spoken about into the special bulletin. From my side, I feel neither attacked through the nonsense nor do I annoy myself over it. But I think that the humans of Earth should know what goes on in front of them in this area, and which lunatics go around the globe and talk nonsense.
Let me see which nonsense is written.
Here, please.
Thanks.
Ta reads the text translated into German.
Enemy of peace, please read this horrible lie about Billy Meier. By Jose Barreto Silva, Brazilian.
P.S. The author of this disgusting material is the person Richard Boylan, Ph. Dr. Boylan. Richard Boylan, Ph. Dr. LLC, Counselor President, Star Kids Project, Linnet. P.O. Box 1009, Diamond Springs, CA 95619, USA. Email drboykaniyas BC Global. Net http dizgi du. Dr. Boylan, com, www.dorboylan.com.
Dr. Boylan also is a consultant to star kids and star seeds seeking to understand better their origin, identity, and mission, so as to attain optimal awareness and clarity of identity, inner growth, and spiritual development. His career has spanned 4 decades of service as a social worker, psychologist retired, clinical hypnotherapist, clergyman retired, school administrator, and clinic administrator. Dr. Boylan has served as a lecturer at California State University, Sacramento, University of California, Davis National University, Chapman University, and Sierra College. Since 1989, Dr. Boylan has conducted research into human encounters with the star visitors. This has led to his current focus, working with the Star Kids. He has created the Star Kids Project Laetidi, and is working at outreach to these hybrid children with advanced abilities and their families, raising consciousness about starseed heritage, educating these children and parents about advanced abilities and their proper use, and informing the public about this new cosmic generation. He has presented papers on his research at, among other conferences, the 1992 MIT Abduction Study Conference and the 1995 Cosmic Cultures International Conference at Washington, D.C. He is author of 3 books: Close Extraterrestrial Encounters, 1994, Labored Journey to the Stars, 1996, and Project Epiphany, 1997. He is currently writing a 4th book, Star Kids. He has over 50 articles published. Dr. Boylan is president of the Star Kids Project, Laetidi, a nonprofit educational program which identifies, educates, and trains star kids and their families for their important roles in the new cosmic society dawning. Dr. Boylan is president of the Academy of Clinical Close Encounter Therapists, ACCET, Incorporated, a federally recognized nonprofit educational and research organization. He has conducted numerous workshops for mental health professionals on the specialized counseling psyche for experiencers of star visitor contact. He has lectured widely at regional and national conferences and has been interviewed on numerous radio and television programs, including NBC's Sightings twice on Paramount Television Network's Paranormal Borderline and 3 times on Art Bell's Dreamland program. Dr. Boylan is a member of the National Board of Hypnosis and Hypnotic Anesthesiology. He is past president of the Sacramento Valley Psychological Association. His wife, Lee Boylan, MBA, and they have 4 children. Can anybody do anything about this vile calumny? Projection, make-believe, urban legend, and or the pretended of deluded or overly self-important persons. Poor Mr. Meier has been targeted by cabal mind-influencing operations, with the result that what he puts forth is a jumble and cannot be trusted to represent genuine star visitor communications. This below is the horrible lie, my dear and good friend Billy Meier. It is very hard for me to keep a neutral thinking when I learn about silly human beings like this Richard Boylan idiot. One day they will pay with shame itself for everything they have done to you, dear friend and true prophet Billy Meier. So be it and so istis. Please read now below to understand it.
From Jar Boylan as BC Global. Netu UFO Facts Yahoo Groups. Kom sent wed 2006, 5:21 p.m. Subject: UFO Facts, Authentic Star Nations Organization versus Phony. It may help to realize that my article on findings about the real star visitors versus the bogeymen of cover-up propaganda was written several years ago, before I was contacted in conscious communication by Counselor Ashioma, the Zeta, and Counselor for the Watchers. It was from them that I learned that the official name of the Federation of Star Civilizations who subscribe to the 1111 laws and who are in contact with Earth is Star Nations. Back then, when I wrote the article, I knew that there was an interstellar federation, but not its official name. Now I know it is Star Nations. I have replaced my ad hoc designation with Star Nations in the current edition of my article. There is no other organization of intelligent civilizations in contact with Earth besides Star Nations. Thus, when you hear someone talk about an Ashtar command, you know that this is make-believe, urban legend, and/or the pretended of deluded or overly self-important persons. Likewise, there is no Pleiadian, Pleiadian Federation. Edward Albert Billy Meier may have started out as a genuine experiencer back in 1942, as he claims. But over the years, his purported from the Plejarians Plejarin have clearly become distanced from the truth too often to be genuine star visitor messages. Further, I have been informed by the Counselor for the Watchers that poor Mr. Meier has been targeted by cabal mind-influencing operations, with the result that what he puts forth is a jumble, and cannot be trusted to represent genuine star visitor communications. In the light, Richard Boylan, Ph. Dr. Translation, Helga Friedrich, Switzerland. Proofreading and editing, Marianne Eullinger and Willem Mundria, Switzerland.
And what do you think? Should I put this in the special bulletin?
The whole thing corresponds to complete nonsense. And it is quite good if you publish this feeble-mindedness so that Earth humans can see clearly which charlatanism and which feeble-mindedness is driven and disseminated through this Richard Boylan.
That is what I wanted to hear. Then I will still add the nonsense at the end of the special bulletin, naturally with the words that we two have spoken in this regard.
It will be informative for many, but all those who believe all this nonsense will not be turned away from it.
I realize that. It is the same with those who believe in spiritual healing, in radiesthesia or in swinging, as well as in clairvoyance, card fighting, dowsing, table turning, ghosts, etc., and in the tricks and machinations of magicians as supernatural powers. It is only a natural consequence that, of course, telepathy and telekinesis, as well as teleportation and levitation, which are in the realm of reality, are brought into disrepute by tricksters through tricks and sleight of hand. But also with regard to these tricksters, humans believe in supernatural powers, which do not really exist, because everything that is presented or appears as supernatural leads back to the human consciousness energies and their powers. These, however, are completely normal phenomena, even if they must still be called special abilities in the present time, always provided that humans possess such abilities, which with very few exceptions is however not the case.
You speak of facts that are also known to the relevant and sober science. But those who believe in these things do not recognize the scientific results either. But now, Edward, I have the following question.